So who can tell me how many species of zebra there are in Africa? You can send your answers to questions at wildearth.tv or just use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. Another interesting thing, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the quagga, which is an extinct zebra species from South Africa. But on doing genetic park, where they've been putting light-colored zebras from all over southern Africa together, and I've actually seen there's some with no stripes on their bum now, so they're sort of trying to rebreathe back the quagga. You see where the stripes don't add up on that one? In the middle of its body. Just zoom in on there. I just want to have a closer look to see if it's... No, it's natural, that one. Sometimes you'll see where stripes don't add up. It could be a scar from lions on them, or sometimes more often from another zebra, from a bite. So, as I was saying, it's quite difficult to tell when a zebra is not in good condition. The most distinct
Hello everyone, being out in the bush and being out there live.
looks like that solar flare is causing some serious trouble. While we're off there, Brian and I were just discussing it. We're definitely going to have to go read up more about solar flares when we get back to camp today. So I know people have asked quite a few times why that zebras haven't been domesticated like horses or donkeys. And the thing is that it's taken many years of domestication for horses and donkeys to build certain attributes that makes them good domestic animals. Zebras have a very weak back and very little stamina, which is the main reason why they're very difficult, or they're not very good as domestic species, and also they're very difficult to domesticate, with most of them dying within the first couple of months of the attempt of being domesticated. There was a group that were domesticated that used to be run as donkey carts from an area to the northwest of us here, down into the low veld. And the reason for this being that in the old days, this was tsetse fly country. So if you brought any oxen that weren't salted or horses that weren't salted, they would die very quickly from sleeping sickness. When I refer to salted animals, it means animals that have had sleeping sickness and recovered from it, and then are therefore immune afterwards. And oxen and horses that have had sleeping sickness and recovered from it, and then are therefore immune afterwards. And oxen and horses that had been salted were worth sometimes 5 to 10 times more than animals that hadn't, just because you were able to use them in areas where the tsetse fly lived, which was most of the low veld of South Africa and northern Zululand as well. Sorry about that. We're back again. Solar flare.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being...
Welcome back, guys. Unfortunately, we had to leave those zebra and impala. We just couldn't get a stable signal there. So we're at Gowrie Dam. And we have a buffalo bull who's only got one horn. And there's three others. One is lying flat, which you don't see too often.
Had a heavy night.
Yeah, looks like he had a very heavy night. He must be affected by the solar flare. Very sensitive buffalo. So, Andrew, come in. Are there any answers yet on how many zebra species in Africa? Katrina says 3. There's a couple of 9s, 3s. At the moment, officially, there are 4. Did anyone get 4? Reds is the closest. At the moment, there's a bit of contention on whether Hartman's mountain zebra is different from Cape mountain zebra, because there's quite a big space between where they occur. The Hartman's mountain zebra is in Namibia, and the Cape mountain zebra is in South Africa. With the plain zebra, the Birchall zebra, almost all of them are subspecies, so there's just put them all into one. And then Gravies is the other species, and it's much bigger than our zebra, and the stripes are more fine, and they don't have any shadow stripes, and they occur from northern Kenya into, and it's the most common, easiest place to see them is northern Kenya. So just behind the buffalo there's a blacksmith lapwing. Oh, let's take this chance now that we've got a bit better signal and we're further away from that. And we're further away from that, and we're not next to we're not next to the pearl-spotted owlet anymore. Let me just have a look if I can find his call here. Oh. So I don't know if you guys can hear that. Andrew, can you hear that? So that's the pearl-spotted owlets calling. So if I'd played this close to that owl this morning, probably would have got quite upset if it was a male, and very confused if it was a female. Oh, a grey heron just landed on the dead knobthorn. Andrew, come in. Confirm I've got a bit more space to roam now. Oh yeah, copy. Thanks. Brian, it looks like a malachite kingfisher. I can't really see with the lights, just landed. You see that log right on the edge?
Yeah.
Alex, maybe just stay there for a little bit, because last time when we rebooted this morning, it went down again after about 15 minutes after we left. Copy, thanks. Oh no, that's the woodlands kingfisher. If we come down onto this branch on the edge of the water, to the left, there we go. Oh, is that a half-collared kingfisher? That would be... Let's have a look. I think it is a malachite though. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a closer look. Oh. A tiny but very pretty little kingfisher. Where's he? He's just behind there. He should pop out again. What colour his bill is? There we go. I'd say whoop, pop down. You should pop up again. There we go. It actually looks like a juvenile malachite kingfisher. Just have a look on the camera and get a look. It's a juvenile malachite kingfisher. I'm going to try sneak a little bit closer. Yeah, definitely a juvenile malachite. So it threw me off in the beginning. I thought, well, maybe it'd be very rare to find a half-coloured. Here they prefer sort of flowing water and little streams. Oh. So here's one of the Pescavorian kingfishers, unlike a woodlands. He's so little, it's so hard to get closer to him. Oh, Woodland's having a drink behind him. I'm going to try sneak a little bit closer. I don't think we're going to be able to get much closer than this without him flying off. Very pretty. Even as a juvenile, his colours are a bit more drab than the adult. Hasn't quite got that electric blue yet. Here, just some squirrels and Franklin alarming behind me. I'm going to have a quick look, and I'm pretty sure he should still be around when we get back. More than likely, they're alarming at that pair of Wahlberg's eagles that lives around here. But it's always good to check. Who knows, the Queen might be visiting the lodge. One morning, while we were all out, a leopard walked right past FC. And we were all miles away. And that squirrel sounds suitably upset that it could be something. Try to see where the squirrel is and which way it's looking. You see the squirrel, huh? Another squirrel alarming down there. Let's check on the other side of the dam, you never know. No, it's very upset. Okay, I've got the squirrel. Seems to be looking that way. Wonder what it's seen. This snake we can't see. Or slender mongoose. Almost into the ground here. Right here, eh? Looks like maybe in this tree. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Maybe there might be a snake in the tree.
What was it?
Are we sure all the sound is correct?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, firm. Oh, he's getting even more upset. Let's sit chat for a few minutes, guys. Half expect to see a leopard walking down towards us. This amount of noise. Can't see any birds of prey. Frank gonna throwing their 3 cents in as well. No idea what it is, guys. Probably a mongoose or a snake that we just can't see. Oh man, I can't. It's just too much noise not to investigate, even if it is a snake. see anything. Let's see if that little kingfisher is still around. Looks like he is still around. He's just quite far away now. He's on the opposite bank. But I got him out here. So number 1. You can see the juvenile. He's somewhere between these two at the moment, that guy. That's what the adult looks like. Very, very pretty. And that's what this one was, sort of between the two. Even they're still a very pretty bird. Oh, there's a little terrapin head popping out to our left. Oh, we've gone under. Oh, woodlands. I can actually see 1, 2, 3 woodlands at the moment. Oh, the flies are bad down here. What's that? Has he got something in his beak there?
He's got a big treat.
He's like a big grasshopper. Come, turn your head so I can see what's in your mouth. Looks like a big katydid or grasshopper. So it definitely looks like a katydid, one of those very big green grasshoppers. He turns his head again. If I can get a sharp picture, I can show you on the back of the camera. It should be quite a little bit dark. Can't really see it in the picture. So for those who weren't with us when we started bright and early this morning, for now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's only going to be one vehicle out in the morning, and then Thursday, Friday through to Sunday, it'll be 2 vehicles out, both morning and afternoon. There's another squirrel alarm calling, probably chasing more ghosts, but let's go see. Franklin's. Come back. No, you didn't. A very pretty little robber fly landed on the vehicle, but didn't stay very long. So what we're going to do is we're going to check around the edge of the dam. No one's been here yet this morning. And who knows, we might get lucky with some tracks. Lots of flies thanks to the buffalo. Really irritating because they land on your lip, your nose, and your ear.
No, it's not good.
No. Oh, you can't see me slapping myself. faster and smarter than us, it seems. Okay, one more. Okay. Don't see them on my steering wheel anymore. Ah.
Still there.
Still there. So, in the morning we found quarantine mail, for those of you watching. We were looking at this tree. Let me just... Remember, it's got the one hooked thorn and the one spiked thorn, and the leaves are edible. Can be used in salad. So I'm going to see who can remember what is the name of this tree. You can send your answers through to questions@wildearth.tv, or just use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. And in the meantime, I'm going to have a snack of what tree's leaves. Yum, yum, yum.
What does it taste like?
There we go.
Apples. I know what it tastes like.
Doesn't taste like anything, to be honest.
It's like a strange apple to me.
Tastes like, yeah. Actually, that's a good description. Oh. Well, we're looking at plants that are edible. Did you get that one from here, or do I need to?
A little bit more side on. Yeah, there we go.
So, sorry, just... So that is quite an interesting plant. Sorry guys, just need to answer the radio quickly. Sean coming? Yeah, I think the den site that's active at the moment is Zoe's Rebecca's. Negative, near the big Balanites tree, at the junction Balanites, Zoe's Rebecca's. So, it's got quite an interesting name. It's called the mother-in-law's tongue, is its common name. And that, let me just go again with the name, please. Delaware, Rick, Valerie. Just the three of you guys got it right, and that is correct. It is a buffalo thorn. Karina also got it right. So, the interesting thing about mother-in-law's tongue, it is a succulent. So you can actually get water out of the roots when you're stuck out in the bush having to survive. You can also eat the pulp for the water as well as a bit of sustenance. It's quite high in starch. You can make rope from the leaves, so it's quite good for making little snares if you had to survive out here. Making snares if you had to survive out here. Let me just find what else. I can't remember all the uses for it, but I know there are quite a lot. Let me just get out my indigenous healing plants. Mother-in-law's tongue, 130. There we go. Well, there we go. One of the best known traditional uses of mother-in-law's tongue is the treatment of earache. A leaf is cut and heated, and the juice is dripped into a teaspoon and then dropped gently into the ear. A piece of warm leaf is held behind the ear as well till the pain subsides. Some tribes also use the leaf for toothache. And the root that we're talking about, that can be eaten raw, is sometimes boiled in water or with milk, and is used as a treatment, made into a tea and then used as a treatment for piles. It is also used as the root eaten raw is used as a treatment for intestinal worms like tapeworms. And also in Tswana culture, 2 tablespoons of chopped root boiled in a liter of water for 10 minutes, then strained and cooled, is used as a prevention for miscarriage. It's also said they cook the root with other vegetables, and then it's just used as sort of a general painkiller for the elderly that are in pain. Oh, it's also got the same as the gwari, which is the magic gwari we get here. The Zulu and Tswana consider it a protective plant, so they drink a little of a cold infusion to protect themselves against lightning. Or if anyone has been bewitched by bad magic, you drink some of tea made from mother-in-law's tongue. And there we go, the other uses outside the medicinal. So I said you can make a very strong, durable string or rope. It's made for making baskets, mats, binding fractures in humans, in traditional medicine. Also making fishing nets. Oh, very interesting. I learned something new about mother-in-law's tongue myself.
Oh, I've never known about mother-in-law's tongue.
As far as I remember, I knew it was used medicinally, but I knew it as a sort of a survival plant that you could get water from, you can eat it, and you can make rope from it and string. Good morning, Vicky from Texas. Yes, you're correct. It's been exported out of Africa as a houseplant. There's about 7 or 8 different varieties of mother-in-law's tongue that are readily available throughout the world as garden plants. zoom in on these. So this is a Terminalia, or a silver cluster leaf. Actually one of my favorite trees when they're big. They're very, very beautiful. So, let me see. Maybe. Ah, Franklin. Let me have a look. So, these are quite interesting. This is actually dead now. And this has actually been finished being used. Much easier if I put it down where it's easy for everyone to see and me to explain about. So, this is not a natural part of the plant. And you can almost see, it looks like little individual holes in there, which it is. So what happens is, Terminalia and certain species of acacias, there's certain species of ants and wasps called gall wasps or gall ants. And what they do is they sting certain tree species, and it causes these tree species to produce a growth hormone, which for the life of me I can't remember. It begins with a G. I can remember that. And what that does is this, so the tree produces this really hard thing, and it grows extensively in this area. And then what they do is they lay their eggs inside this gall, as it's called, where it's very, very strong and the wood's really hard. And this is old now, so, and then basically they then fabricate these little nest areas for them, and it provides the larvae and the eggs for a very safe place to germinate from. Not germinate's the wrong word. Hatch from. Sorry, it's the correct word. So that's quite interesting. So, and there will be different species of ants and wasps that are specific to different tree species. But terminalias have quite a few different types that do that.